Hey my thrifty friends, Tabs here from the Urban Goddess shop. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about the fireside chat with Poshmark. I literally just got off it and I have a pile of notes. I am like trying to keep a straight face here because, oh my God, my jaw just cracked. I feel like that was, I don't know, I feel like that was kind of a joke. Can I say this? Like I am so frustrated with Posh and I'm tired of like talking about this and putting any energy into it, but I'm going to go over the information and I'm going to give my 2 cents. Do I think anything they told me is valuable? Maybe just actually what they're doing, but there was nothing in here that told us how to make more sales, really. Nothing they haven't already said, which totally is what I expected. I did not expect anything riveting to come out of this fireside chat. Just like continually disappointed with them as a business right now. And it's a hard pill for me to swallow because I loved Posh. I was like the biggest Posh hoorah-er ever. No, there's like way more Kool-Aid drinkers than me, but definitely like have loved the app and it's kind of brought my business to where it is, but it's not taking my business forward anymore. All right, enough of that. We're going to talk about that after. Let's get straight down to what they actually talked about. I took a pile of notes, was like writing as quickly as I could. If I've forgotten anything, please drop it in the comments, share with all of us. There may have been something that I missed while I was writing notes, and definitely like fill us in. And obviously throughout this video, if anytime you want to share your thoughts and opinions, and it can be positive or negative, because this is going to be our vent session. Like this is it, okay? We're not going to continue doing this all the time because I don't believe in putting negative energy into stuff because it doesn't deserve it. But this is going to be our vent session. So who was on the call? It was Leanne Che. I might be saying her name right, I'm not sure. And Tracy Sun. So I am familiar with Tracy Sun. I wasn't familiar with Leanne, but I really am not familiar with a bunch of the Posh people. I more just use the app to sell and make money. Okay, so why did they, so they kind of like addressed different questions. So people submitted questions, which I think was like a whole load of crap because they like ran out of topics. You're telling me that you didn't receive more questions than what you discussed? I don't think so. But anyways, first one was, why did they change the search? And their main reason was they just wanted to improve it. They felt like there was more room to improve, to make more sales. And I'm thinking like, you guys actually had a really good search. And then now it's like this and it's not really working, but whatever. Okay, so first one, what did they change? So what they changed was the keyword data, and they wanted to prioritize active listings. So they're trying to find out which keywords shoppers are using most frequently and how do they help them pull out the listings, if that makes sense. And that's probably why people that are like simplifying listings or doing like Lululemon black leggings and then putting like the style, the cut, the crop, blah, 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 all that stuff after, why those listings are working, because lots of people, when they're really starting out on the app and it's simple, they're just like, I don't know, Patagonia sweater, right? Like they're probably searching with general terms, which I understand, but don't just prioritize like that simple stuff. Like you pull the keywords from the listings. Okay, so that was the first. And then the second part of that was they tweaked the keywords that it was pulling. So what it was pulling from our listings, that's kind of what I would understand. And sharing and search attributes for each listing. So they're saying continue sharing, and they're also looking at what are the search attributes that people are using the most commonly. So this might be where we start to look at some of their like trend things that they release all the time and what kind of keywords. Like I know it's like square toe, chunky heel sandals, navy blue shoulder purse, like I don't know, like if you look, there's almost like a little line on the app when you go to like the main news feed, and they'll be like all like trending, and those are things that they're finding that people are searching commonly for, which makes sense. But like, oh my gosh, I can't, oh my god, something in my I feel like I can't always incorporate those. I don't know. I feel like they're super specific anyway. So it would like only apply to like very specific listings. They also stated that they've been seeing more sales than ever. And like in my thoughts, I'm like, yeah, of all my old stale listings, like that's where I'm seeing the majority of my sales. It's like listings that are older than a couple months, which still doesn't quite make sense to me. Maybe because I was not as good at reselling back then and my listings were more simple. I don't know. I just can't some days with them. So then she went into the methodology. Data changes, they've been doing A and B testing. So basically they take the like old search algorithm that they were using and then they're using a test group. And they've been rolling out these test groups. And what I now like looking back in that first one in like January, February, I think it was February, I don't think I was in the test group. I think I was like the old algorithm because sales were very normal for me where people are like, what's going on? My sales are super slow. Now, definitely I am in the test group and I am like struggling to get the sales that I'm getting. And this part, like this is the part that upsets me. Why not tell us in February, hey, we're going to be rolling out some search changes. We apologize if you fall into this test group. Like explain this stuff to us instead of telling us what, like it's the end of April. This is 2 months later. You're finally being transparent with your information. Okay, next topic. Let's keep going. This test group, when they did this A/B testing, outsold the regular group. I am calling BS. Like, I feel like they're lying out of their mouth and like so much so that you reverted it back for a couple weeks and then rolled it out again. And I do not believe this. Like, I just don't have a lot of trust in them right now. And they said it was successful based on listing views, shoppers finding the items and buying them, and increased number of sellers that are making sales. Okay, so if that's the parameters that they're basing this on, listing views, okay, so like simple search terms or listings that were meeting your new search criteria were getting a lot of views, but it's probably more just because they were so basic. Shoppers found items and bought, like, I don't know how they're basing that because they're buying all my old garbage listings right now. That's the truth. And and like super low dollar listings as well. And then they said number of sellers that have made sales, because I feel like probably a lot of people that are like hobby selling are probably making sales, or not hobby selling, like just selling things out of their own closet. Do you know what I mean? Because their listings are simple, their titles are very simple, and that is pleasing their algorithm changes. Like, this is just how I'm kind of working through it. I don't know if you have a different take on it. By all means, hop in the comments, share your view, because sometimes I like how you guys, not sometimes, I do like how you guys think, and it makes me kind of work through thoughts. And sometimes there's things that I'm interpreting completely wrong, but this is my interpretation of everything. She said this was testing old against new. So all of that. Number 2, this was another question that was brought up, was Google search. They said they continue to invest in Google search. They have not made any changes. They said the Google search algorithm is changing in itself, which I kind of see that. Like, I'm sure Google is like, whoa, Posh, you're kind of overtaking all of our shopping, and is like, we need to prioritize and figure out how to do a better mix. Now, what she stated here, these are the 2 things that are like not old news. They've said this before. I feel like this was so generic, but she was like, they found that Google prioritizes high resolution photos on white backdrops. I mean, this we all know. That was very general information. I feel like they probably could have dug in a little bit deeper and given us maybe some more help. And then she also said new with tag items, post barcode. And then she after she states these, she backtracks, and this is Tracy's son, and she said they're unsure if this actually makes a difference, and that these are very generic suggestions. Okay, so you're coming into a meeting with thousands of resellers that sell on your app and you're going to give us general information? Do some research. Help us. Like, you guys are the ones that have the contract with Google. You guys are the ones that are working with Google. What? I don't even know. Like, the words can't even come out of my mouth right now because it's just so frustrating. Okay, take a breath and drink some of my water. Oh, on a side note, I also just finished prior to this my onboarding for Whatnot. So I'm going to start doing some live auctioning. If you are not signed up for Whatnot, drop down in the description. I'm going to have a link. I think you sign up and maybe you get a credit, or I get a credit. I don't know how it works. But anyway, sign up, follow me. I'm just Tabs McCaffrey. That is my username. And I will let you guys know as soon as I'm doing a live auction. Okay, back to scheduled program here. All right. Third question they addressed: why have sales slowed down? Yes, Poshmark. This is like the big question we all want to know. She said there's a couple of points that she said, there's 3 points I want to address. Number one, don't stop sharing. I'm happy I never did stop sharing, because there were people that were like, you don't have to share anymore. Sharing doesn't matter. And she was like, don't stop sharing. We're using the active timestamps on the items to prioritize them still. So sharing is still a thing. Don't cancel that bot yet. Number two, look for change and embrace it. Such wise words. Okay, world is opening up. Shoppers are shopping in store and they're buying different items. She told us all to adapt. Great words. Now, I am gonna kind of agree with this. I think definitely shoppers' habits have changed since 2 years ago, and we definitely have to be researching what is selling on Poshmark. So we want to be sellers on Poshmark, and this is something I've said before. You need to check what's actually selling. I have been actually going into categories and looking at the recent solds from the day and just trying to figure out what are people actually buying, what kind of photos, what kind of styles, what's the price point. I would filter this, especially if you're trying to have a higher ASP. And I think we have to continually do research. Things that were selling a year ago or even a couple months ago may not be selling anymore. And that's the truth about reselling. So I think we do have to evolve. It was just probably not what I wanted to hear and like that, but 1 point for Tracy. We'll give her that. She said, yeah, pay attention to what sells and what sits in your own personal closet. If you're listing things that are, but this is the part where I don't agree with her, because I have listed items and like, these are not like Lulu items or like items that I know people are shopping for are still sitting there longer than they used to. So that's the part where I kind of disagree with her. And when I do my research, I know that these items are selling and they're desirable. I just don't understand why some are being prioritized and some aren't. Okay, and then her third point was to prioritize filling out more fields and with accurate details, and that they will continue to do A/B testing. So, and then she also actually like gave kind of like, but keep in mind, we may not use all the fields. Fill them out, but we may not use them all. Oh my gosh, like, stop it. Can you not just give us like straight information? Okay, I'm going to keep moving along because I can rant on each and every one of these points, and I'm just, yeah. Okay, number 4, what's the future of Poshmark? And she was like, yeah, just trying to sell it, right? All right, so the future is search. They're going to keep testing more productive search features, I think, for sellers, or like testing for it to be more productive for sellers. My notes are kind of bad. They're identifying gaps and they are trying to fix them. I think there's more gaps than they can fix, and they have their work cut out for them. But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like we're just their guinea pigs. She also made a statement that they're going to stay on their path, that what they're doing, they stand behind, and they're just going to keep working on it and trying to evolve. That makes me sad. I do think it's going to take a while for them to figure all of this out. And unfortunately, like I said, we're all their guinea pigs. They're testing all of our listings, I guess, and how they work and how they're searchable, and that part annoys me. All right, so for the testing, there's 3 things that they're testing. These were kind of important. She said it's the intent of the shopper. What is the shopper looking for? What are the keywords they're using? Number 2 is matching it to our listings. So finding out which things match and which are equaling to the sale. And then she said combining both of those points with the last shared, so the timestamp of the item, making sure that they're pulling like current items and not like old listings of people that aren't actually going to ship the item. All this makes sense. It totally makes sense. Just, it's annoying. It's annoying. So she said they will roll out what's working and drop what doesn't. So they will roll with what's working and they will drop what isn't working. They will continue to use our sales as their data. It may explain to us too why some people are up and some people are down, and some weeks you're up and some weeks are down, because there is just so much testing going on right now. It just sucks. Like, it just sucks that our businesses are their guinea pigs, right, for testing, when we all know it used to work, right? That's the hardest part, is that what their search features used to work, and why they are like saying that they didn't, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's things we don't understand. I don't know. I don't believe what they're saying. All right, so we're getting down to the end. So the most important factors, she said, listing details and the last timestamp. This is like the most important thing she can tell us. Using good titles, good descriptive words, although they may not use all the descriptive words into their search. They may not pull all the words, but they want us to continue using all the ones that we can think of. And sharing, I guess. So Posh wants to continue to grow. They want to continue to grow. So that's what they're working on right now. And yeah. I don't know. I have some notes here. I just said we're literally their guinea pigs while they test. Sad that I fall into that category, and many of us are. I wish I was in the non-test group. I don't know, is like anyone, I know there are people, because when I take a poll and people are like, my sales are fire, they're not in the test group. I know it. I just know it. Okay, Tracy's last words, that they are listening. And they want us to help them to evolve. They want us to keep giving them our feedback, what's working, what isn't, things that we're finding, flaws, things like that. And then she wrapped it up. Like, I don't even know how long that was. Was it like 15 minutes, maybe 20? I feel like it was booked for half an hour, and the comments were like, we still have 10 minutes left. Yeah, they didn't even take the whole 30 minutes. They didn't even have enough information to give us 30 minutes. 30 minutes to help us. 30 minutes out of their busy schedules to help the people that are selling items on their platform. Actions speak louder than words. They really do. So do I think any important details were given in this chat to help us make more sales? No, absolutely not. Do I think it gave us some reasoning and just some information on what they're actually doing? Yeah, I think we all know that they're doing testing, but again, you waited 2 months to give us any information. There was a lot of people commenting very negative things. It was, I couldn't imagine being those 2 women and trying to find a question in the chat, because there was nothing but hate in there. And I think people are frustrated. And they spent like 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes, I guess, just trying to find a question. I could find questions pretty quick in there. Maybe you guys need a mediator that's grabbing questions. Maybe you use the thousands of questions that people submitted to give you some more information. Like, I don't know, whatever. I'm not in charge of Poshmark. I don't run the business. I'm not a part of their company, but I can tell you what, I'm looking to sell on other platforms. I think this is the pivot point where we all start putting our eggs in more baskets, because we are all going to continue to be the guinea pigs of Poshmark, and not my MO, not what I want. I hate putting my business in other people's hands and like Literally, we're putting them in Posh's hands and they're like, we're doing experiments with you. Let's see how this goes. I just want to give like the middle finger, but I won't because YouTube will censor me. But yeah. All right. I think there's nothing positive that I can add here, so I'm just going to head out on this note. Please drop in the comments, share your thoughts. Were you there? What did you think? Is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to add? Yeah, let's hear about it. Okay, I'm out of here. Besides this, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I really do. And we got to keep moving on, right? After this, we're not going to give it any more negative attention. We're just going to put our heads down, do what we're doing, put our eggs in more baskets. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.